our next speaker knows the power of experiences to bring people together. With more than 15 years in the events industry, Valentina Ruffoni has built her career around creating moments that people truly remember. She is the founder of the Pi Network, a global community for event professionals, and Beyond the Event, where she designs experiences that celebrate connection and belonging. In this session, Valentina will show us how the same passion we pour into our communities can also strengthen our professional networks without piling more onto our plates. She's going to share some practical examples and simple habits for turning everyday actions into lasting, career-boosting connections. Please join me in welcoming Valentina Ruffoni. Here she is.
Hello.
Hello.
That was, you know what, Beth, you always do such a good job of introducing us. It's almost like I don't need to do anything more to introduce myself. Thank you. It makes me feel a bit like I'm a celebrity.
I'm here to validate you because you kind of are.
One day. Okay, I am going to share my screen, so give me a second.
Love the leopard print, by the way.
Thank you.
Looks good.
Says favorite print on it, just in case I forgot.
Thanks, Valentina. Have fun.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I'm so happy to be here. It's 8:30 p.m. my time, and I've just had a couple of these, so I am wired. I'm ready to go. I'm Valentina, as Beth said. I'm not going to do much of an intro, except for I've kind of given myself the name, the unforgettable events expert. I'm a connector. So if we are not connected on LinkedIn, which is where I love to be, please scan this QR code and connect with me and let me know you was watching this event. It will come clear at the end. I thought I would share a few fun facts because I know Tiffany shared some before. I'm a leopard print lover, as you may tell. I'm addicted to pasta. Pasta all day, every day, if I could. It gives me the energy to be this animated when I'm doing speaking things, events things, community things. And another fun fact is I once was a fortune teller. So if you're interested to find out more about that, connect with me on LinkedIn and ask me everything and I will tell you all. But I think we should get started. So what I want to do is I want to ask you a simple question. In the chat, I want you to tell me if you resonate with this quote, either with a hand up or a yes. I spend my days connecting others, yet my own network often takes a back seat. Let me know if this is you in the chat with a yes or a hands up, anything to signify that this is you. Because I think this applies to a lot of us, right? We work 9 to 5, whatever that means anymore. And our personal time kind of cuts in, well, the work and our personal time all kind of mix together and we don't really have much time for anything else, right? And it all becomes very blurred and at the end of a busy day, now everyone's connecting with me. I keep getting all these pings. At the end of a busy day, the last thing we want to do is do more, in the words of my husband, communitying. Apparently I'm very good at communitying. Not sure if that's a real word, but yeah. Okay, I can see yes, yep, 100%. Great. Well, not great, but I thought you would resonate with that. So I thought this would resonate with you, which is why I put together this session today, because I think it's really important that we spend so much time building communities as our day job, but we can't seem to do it with our professional network yet. Whenever we want to kind of move on or elevate, like it becomes a bit of a stopgap. So in this session, I'm going to try and help you build your network while doing your job and hopefully not adding more to your plate, because there's only so many hours in a day, right? And we need time away from the screen and communitying to live our lives, right? So let's dive in. I have a question. I would love to know, what is your challenge right now when it comes to building your network and the reason why it has taken a back seat in amongst everything else that you do? Drop those reasons into the chat. It could be one word, it could be a sentence. What is your challenge right now? What's stopping you from building the network that you want, as well as you build the community that you work for? I would love to know what some of your challenges are. I know that in the past, my challenges have really been around motivation, there's that time element. So many different factors come into play. Making sure the connections are authentic, not just here to collect connections. I want actual connections. They've said, yeah, that can be a real challenge. I have come up with 3 challenges that I feel are at the top, and I want to help you try and overcome them. We've got some more expensive events locally I want to attend, but aren't affordable right now. Energy and time, yes. There's a lot of challenges, right? And I'm not going to be able to help you with all of them in 25 minutes, but I'm hopefully going to give you some great tips and tricks that you can take forth after this and not have to do too much extra work to get them done. So the challenge or challenges, I have whittled it down to 3 main challenges: time, energy, and prioritization, which a lot of people have said are your challenges right now. I can see finding my people is another one, bad at selling myself, building authentic connections, but time, energy, and prioritization are really high up there. So with the time element, let me know if you agree with me. This resonates with me. Your calendar is packed with events, moderating, engaging, onboarding new members, meetings, deadlines. Like, you just open your Google Calendar and it's just packed. There's no room to even have lunch. And you get to the end of the day, and as I mentioned, you don't want to do anything else. Your networking goals, your own personal things, that task on your to-do list gets put to tomorrow. If you're anything like me, it's like tomorrow, and then you drag it the next day, tomorrow, then it's next week, then it's next month, and then you look at it and you're like, what was that? And you're like, I was meant to do that. And it just keeps going on. Then we've got energy. You give so much to your community, so much energy, whether you're coming onto events, whether you're thinking about content, you're in the communities almost 24 hours a day, answering questions, cheering people on, connecting members, that you don't have any energy left for your own growth. You almost burn out every day because you've been that face, that person into the community which they love, but it's burnt yourself out. Someone says that's me today. And it often makes it feel like networking, which there should really be another word for it. Like networking, me and Beth were talking about this before, like networking can sometimes feel a bit meh. Should just be called connecting, in my opinion. But it can feel like work mode when it's bleeding into personal time, and that doesn't make it fun. Like, you end up in like this caretaker mode. I'm just imagining this like person with this like blue uniform on with the broom, just like sweeping. You become caretaker mode for your community, but not for yourself, right? But that really takes away your energy. Then there's the prioritization. And I'll be honest, I've often felt selfish to focus on my own network when it's been my role to serve the community. Like, that's my paid job, that's my day-to-day. Whereas my network is just, me, and it's felt selfish. But we know how important networking is, but we feel like our community comes first. That's how I felt in the past. I'm sure some of you have also felt that way as well. And ironically, the same skills that you use to grow your thriving communities are exactly the ones that you could use to build your own network, right? But they get sidelined. So how do we overcome these challenges is I'm sure what's in your mind right now. Tell me how, Valentina. Tell me how. I'm going to tell you how. So how do you grow your network? I want to keep it simple. Simple and sustainable is the key here. And what I'm going to share are the kind of strategies that I cover more fully in my Create to Connect masterclass, which is taking place next month. But for today, I'm just going to share with you the first part of my Connect framework. If you've heard me speak before, you know that I love frameworks. I've got frameworks for everything. And today it's the Connect, and I'm going to show you what the con part of Connect is, plus a little bit more. So it starts with clarifying and aligning. It then moves on to optimizing your presence, turns into nurturing and engaging, which is kind of technically the part of the E. And then it really comes down to leveraging daily touch points, which is things you're already doing in your day-to-day job. We just need to be a little bit more intentional in weaving it in to your professional networking. So we're going to focus on a few practical ways to apply them in your day-to-day. So let's dig a little bit deeper. First one, clarifying and aligning. We are all too familiar with the why and the who of community building, right? That's the first thing that we do. We're always asking why. I know David's coming up next. I remember when I went to his workshop at CMX in, what was it, 2019? We were constantly asking why, but why? That's something you still need to do when you're building your professional network. Being clear on why and who, and know what you want from your network, career opportunities, mentorship, and focusing on connecting with people who support that whilst also benefiting from your community. That is what we need to do. When I launched the Pie Network, which stands for People in Events, and yes, we do eat pie when we come together, all different types of pie, I knew that I wanted to build something that connected event professionals, but also wanted to grow my own network as a founder, right? And I remember one of the first people that I reached out to was like an event tech leader who I connected with. But it wasn't just me learning about what they were doing. They also became a really early supporter of the network. And in turn, it meant they were then sharing it with their own community. And it gave me so many insights into building my own career and community building. So it was kind of like a 2-for-1 kind of thing. Now, I know it might be a bit difficult to know right now what your why and who is, but I have a little activity, and you don't have to do it now, but I will share this on LinkedIn after. But it's a fill in the blanks. Let's keep it simple. Right? Fill in the blanks. All I want you to do is answer these two, well, they're not questions, they're just fill in the blanks. I'm building my network because I want to, and the kind of people who can help me are, an example, I'm building my network because I want to grow into head of community role. That could be one of your goals. The kinds of people who can help me are experienced community leaders who have built global programs and people operations managers who understand scaling teams. People like Tiffany before, right? The perfect person to connect with. So have a think about that. It doesn't have to be right now, but think about why you want to build your network and who you want to connect with, because that will help so much when you then are intentionally building your network. Next up is the O, and that is optimizing your presence. You really need to make sure that your online presence works for you. And with that, I'm talking about when people Google you or put your name into AI tools, like what are people seeing? What do you want people to see? Now, I'm a big lover of LinkedIn. It's one of my only social media platforms because that is where my digital footprint is. I don't create too much content that's in blog form unless I'm being asked to contribute or I'm speaking, but LinkedIn's where I've chosen is my place. And you really should make it easy for people to find you, connect with you, and understand the value that you bring, not what you do, the value that you bring, the challenges you can help people with, or the things that you've done that really shows what you specialize in. I see a lot of people saying, I do this, I do that, but there isn't much out there that says, I bring this to the table. And that's what you really should focus on when you're thinking about optimizing your presence. So here's some things you can try. I'm going to post this in the chat. Can I? I can't post it in the chat. I will share it after. Basically, it's a free tool. It's the LinkedIn Social Selling Index. Try and say that fast. And basically what you can do, if you like LinkedIn, just like I do, you can basically open this link and it will analyze your profile and tell you where you kind of sit based on the role that you do. And the screenshot in the top here is of mine. It's okay. It does say that I'm great at building relationships, which I love, but I think I'm lacking around the kind of selling myself. Thank you, Jessica, for sharing that link. It's a really cool tool, and it's a reminder for you to stay consistent in how you show up. And the consistency will then lead to connections who will then support your career and support your community, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do things that are helpful for both, right? It's not about chasing a perfect score. It's about building habits that make you more visible and approachable online and opens up opportunities and for your community to come to you, right? So here are 3 things that you could do. There's lots of different things you could do to your profile to optimize it. But if you haven't got a really eye-catching banner on your LinkedIn profile, think about changing that up. Add a clear call to action on that banner, or you can now add in like a link that goes right under your your name. Mine says join the Pi Network. Join the Pi Network, because that's what I want people to do. And when you're engaging in your communities, have LinkedIn open, engage over there, and engage in your LinkedIn. It's not extra work. It's just being intentional about your time and sharing the load. Jessica says, I've recently been testing out my branding myself on LinkedIn, and this tool looks super helpful. It really is. And it doesn't cost anything, right? So it's worth trying out, and it just gives you a bit of accountability, because it will change over time. And what I tend to do whenever I do it is I take a screenshot of it, and obviously has the date, and then I can then put them in a folder, and then I can compare how I've done over time. So that's optimizing. Next up, nurturing and engaging. As community people, we know networking is not about sending hundreds of messages, attending every single event. It's about small repeated actions that keep relationships alive, right? That's what we do every day in our community strategies and the communities that you're building. We plan for this. It's very, very intentional. An example is I had a connection who I first met at an event. Instead of doing like a one-off outreach, I decided to start commenting on their post. I saw something I thought was really interesting for them, and I shared it with them. And I've been keeping up in checking in every few weeks just to see how they are. And this has really grown a relationship, because I genuinely want to get to know them. And it's benefited for both of us and our communities. So what's the takeaway? Consistency beats volume, right? Even small actions, when we do them again and again, create trust, visibility, and opportunities, and without burning out. That's the thing. It's like that 1% better every day, not 50% better. It's not taking 5 steps instead of 1 step. And sometimes we won't take a step, and that's okay to not take a step. But it's building those habits, and habits take time to build, right? It's not something that tomorrow you suddenly building a network, right? It takes time. And then lastly, it's all around leveraging those daily touch points. You should really think about your community that you're building and the networking opportunities that are in there. That routine direct message, Slack reply, or onboarding conversation, it can be a way to strengthen your personal network with no extra trying. Here's a quick challenge for you for the next time you apply to a member's post. Answer a question or host an event. Use it as a touch point. Send them a quick LinkedIn request with just a small personalized note saying, loved chatting with you at this event in the XYZ community. Let's stay connected. That's it. It's not extra time. It's just reframing what you already do. Now, some of you may be thinking, these actions don't quite fit me. And you're right. Everybody approaches networking differently. And that's something I found over the years as I've been helping people build their networks. Some of us thrive on doing things every day, small touches, others more on a deeper level, one-to-one conversations. Some prefer in person. So to help you discover your style and see what strategies fit with you, I've created this networking quiz called What Type of Network Are You? All you need to do, if you want to find out your networking style, is to scan the QR code. It's 15 questions, multiple choice, take less than 5 minutes, and it's completely free. And you will get your results instantly. It will also give you a growth tip there as well, which can really help you when you then start to continue to build your network, because some of these strategies are not right for somebody like me. I'm a connector. Somebody who is maybe a strategist would do it in a very different way, but I wouldn't do it that way, and that's fine. It's all about knowing how we best network to make it work for us, and that will then help us not put in all this extra work while we're building our communities, yet we still have our personal, professional network, and we have this big thriving community. If you do decide to take the quiz, please go ahead and share it on LinkedIn and tag me. I'd love to know where you sit. And I just want to leave you here with 2 quotes that I've kind of merged into one. If you take anything from this session today that gives you a bit of motivation to intentionally build your network, and it is, your network is your net worth. It's not about who knows you. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. And I'm going to leave it there on a visual mic drop moment. I hope this has been helpful for you. If anybody has any questions, I don't know if we have any time, but please reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm always around. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Valentina. Fantastic. And like truly for me, so validating. Validating to hear you talk about just like the way you think about networking and connecting. And then also just to see how other people are feeling about networking and connecting in the chat because
Yeah.
like I don't think I've ever put so many like point up emojis when people are I'm like, yes, this. Have a question that I did put in Q&A just to in case other people had questions. So, what are your tricks? And you can stop sharing your screen. But
Okay.
what are tricks you have for reaching out to someone who you admire without making it feel awkward or transactional for those folks who do feel a bit of that kind of like social anxiety?
Good question. So I guess the question is like how you're reaching out, because if you're doing it on LinkedIn and you're not already connected, there's a bit of a barrier there compared to, reaching out to someone you admire on Slack. Either way, the best way to reach out to someone is to reach out and reference something that's resonated with you, which means doing a little bit of research into, I mean, hopefully you're following them. If you're inspired by them, you're following their content, but referencing something they shared or talked about and saying, how you feel about it, because that can open the conversation. You really want to go into this with the goal to get a response. And I feel like a lot of the time people reach out and like, hey, we'd love to connect. And there's not really much else there apart from, yeah, okay. So really think about something that you truly have resonated with. Tell them how you feel about it and ask them a follow-up question about it. When you do that and you've clearly put in some effort, you're more likely to get a response. Start the conversation, start building the relationship, and then who knows where that conversation will go. You might then, partner together on something. But yeah, that first interaction should be with the goal to get a response and just being genuine as well, because somebody reached out to me the other day. I posted it on LinkedIn and it was not genuine at all. And I went off. I haven't got time for that. So yeah, genuine goal to get a response.
Yeah. I like that. And I mean, it's true. Like if you're just doing it with intention and when you're talking, I mean, like I shared in the chat, the idea of networking can sometimes feel a bit sticky because it feels a bit selfish and like the people who are coming at you are coming out of the woodwork to connect with you. Like it doesn't feel like they're in it for something real or for the authentic connection. It's like, oh, who do you know that you could connect me with? So yeah, and I've had experiences at events where it's like and they look at your badge like, oh, that's so cool, here, let me like scan your LinkedIn QR code. And like, but we didn't even have a conversation yet, we haven't talked about what I do or why I'm interesting to you. So I think like leading with intention is great advice.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole nother conversation on event name badges and QR codes that we could talk about, but that's for another day.
You're just so full of opinions. I love it.
Yeah, I think I'm getting older. That's what it is.
Well, thank you so much, Valentina. I speak for a lot of folks in our audience right now. This has been super, super helpful, super validating, and it's just always a pleasure to have you on our stage.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Oops, cut her off before you could hear her say bye. She said bye because we're out of time. We're moving on to our next thing. We're just a train rolling right through.